Shalom everyone, this is Chris Shoemaker, also known as Yehuda ben Shomer, and welcome to the Weekly Way, your weekly devotional commentary on the Torah, Haftorah, and Brit Chadashah portion. And the Torah portion today is from Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, all the way to chapter 6, verse 8. But we're going to hone in on chapter 6, verse 4, the enigmatic passage about the giants. It says, "There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown." If you grew up in a very conservative Judeo-Christian home or church or synagogue, most likely you will have heard the interpretation that the sons of God was the pure, holy line of Seth, the chosen line of Seth, and that the daughters of men were the worldly daughters of the line of Cain. You cannot substantiate this scripturally in any way, shape, or form, because every time the phrase sons of God is rendered in the Tanakh or the Old Testament, it is referring to the angelic race, other heavenly divine beings, and you can see this in the book of Job and other passages as well. And so it's only been a modern interpretation or a post-Tanakh interpretation or a New Testament interpretation that the sons of God are, holy, righteous people. Because in the Brit Chadashah, we are called sons of God if we are reborn in Messiah Yeshua. So I can see where people get this, and they don't want to, they can't fathom this fantastical idea of fallen angels coming to earth and actually procreating with human women. But that is exactly what has happened. That there is no dispute that in the Eastern biblical times and in the Eastern biblical mindset and interpretation of Genesis 6:4, which you'll find in the book of Jasher, the book of Jubilees, the books of Enoch, and also other rabbinical literature and rabbinical commentaries, that the sons of God were the fallen angelic race who cohabitated with human women and created these hybrid offspring called giants. The Hebrew word is Nephilim or Nephilim, which means the fallen ones. These were children of the fallen ones, children of the watchers, children of the fallen angelic race. And so they created these hybrid, and they usually had 6 fingers and 6 toes, 2 rows of teeth, and they were usually anywhere from above 6 feet up to maybe 10, 12 feet tall sometimes. And if you look in the passages of Scripture, when it talks about some of the Canaanite kings that were referred to as children of or sons of Anak, or the Rephaim, which means giant kings, you'll see Og and Bashan were these giant kings, and it talks about how big Og's bed was and how many fingers and toes that he had and everything like this. So now Satan doesn't do anything new. He just repackages the old. And what is the way he has done this whole Nephilim or Nephilim scheme in the modern day is through the extraterrestrials, aliens, and UFOs, because it's the exact same scenario, the exact same story. It's just put in a science fiction package where aliens abduct human women, impregnate them, they're re-abducted later on to show their hybrid offspring. And so really, what is the whole meaning and what is the whole purpose in this? Why would Satan do this? Well, our Haftorah portion kind of gives us a hint. Our Haftorah portion is taken from Isaiah chapter 42, verses 5 through 21. And in our Haftorah portion talks about how the Messiah is the Redeemer of Israel, and he is the light of the nations. And so that's what the whole Haftorah portion is about. And so him being the Redeemer of Israel, the Redeemer of mankind, and a light to the nations, he came to save mankind. He came to save human beings, which the Nephilim or Nephilim and fallen angels do not fall in that category, because fallen angels are not human. Their hybrid children are not human. They're not fully human. They're not fully angel. They're a hybrid. They're a mix. And so Yeshua didn't come to save hybrids, or he didn't come to save fallen angels. He came to save the human race, mankind, that has 100% of the human DNA and genome, 100% purely human. And it kind of hints in Genesis where it says that Noah was the only pure and righteous one. The Hebrew kind of gives a hint that he was not only righteous spiritually, but he was one of the few that were genetically pure, because the cohabitation of the angels and men created these offspring called Nephilim. So the whole goal and purpose of the fallen angels was to cohabitate with the human race, to wipe out the pure human genome, so that in the end there was no longer 100% purely human people. They were all hybrid humans mixed with the genetic material of the fallen angels, and they were hybrids. And so what their plan was is to thwart the prophecy in Genesis 3:15, which says, "And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, between thy seed, the seed of the serpent, the seed of the fallen angels, and her seed, the seed of the woman, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel." So this was a prophecy of Messiah Yeshua, the Redeemer, coming to save mankind through the seed of the woman, therefore hinting that he was going to be virgin born, he was going to be the seed of the woman, because there is really no such thing as a seed of the woman, because the seed comes from the man. So it hinted that this Messiah would be virgin born, he would be divine and miraculously spring from a human woman, and therefore he would be the Redeemer of mankind. So Satan and the fallen angels thought, well, if there's no humans, there's no point of the Messiah coming. If there's no purely human people, there will be no redemption. It will be impossible. There would be no purpose for the redemption. So their plan was to spread the seed of the serpent, the fallen angels, and corrupt the entire human DNA and genome so that everybody would be hybrid and there would be no pure humans to redeem. So we see that the main purpose of the flood was to stop this plan and to wipe out the Nephilim and the hybrids and the seed of the serpent, and start over with Noah and his pure genetic line, purely human genetic line, and his spiritually righteous family. So now let's move on to the Brit Hadashah portion, which ties in to the Torah and half-Torah portion, which is Jude chapter 1, verse 6, and it says, "And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness, unto the judgment of the great day." So this obscure passage alludes to the fallen angels who, when they left heaven, their first estate, they came to earth and took bodily form and cohabitated with human women to produce the Nephilim, to produce these hybrids. And so that is the weekly way for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Shalom, Shavua Tov, and Shabbat Shalom. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press the like button, as well as the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and the notification bell that'll let you know every time I make a new video. And don't forget to share this with a friend. Also, visit our website at abrahamsdescendants.com. Thanks. Shalom.